Hi, this is Steve Fleckenstein, Prostock Division Manager. I'm here today to assist you on learning more about our Prostock program and specifically talking to you about some of the key elements of installation and fabrication of our materials. We'd like to have you see this presentation, and if you have any questions along the way or need some assistance, you are certainly welcome to give us a call and talk to us more about some of the particulars about fabricating with polycarbonate and aluminum. I'd like to start the presentation today by looking at the first slide. I want you to bear that we have available in the toolboxes on our website a selection of professionally designed, detailed fabrication and installation manuals. We'd like you to know also that we have a variety of additional aluminum channels, tubes, connecting points, caulk, tape, lots of different ancillary products to help make your project successful, have a successful outcome. When ordering material, there are two documents we'd like to have you take a look at. In the toolbox, you'll find the Prostock Performance Matrix and a Prostock quote form. Both these forms and all documents within the toolboxes are specific to the system you are selecting. Put them side by side at the time you fill out the order form. It might be a little easier, so printing one and then using the other on the screen might be a handy way to complete the document, the order request form simply. When asking for a quote, in Prostock, we ask you to submit drawings. Do not submit specifications. Call for assistance. We'll help you with selecting a system. We'll help you with fabrication guidance and installation guidance. When your request is complete, you can fax or email it to Lori here at our office. She'll confirm receipt of the order, run through the quote through a Prostock pricing calculators, add shipping and handling charges, all the details necessary to make sure your quote is submitted back to you, and we'll do that within an hour of receiving your quote request. Remember that we ship materials with Prostock as quickly as 2 weeks, so our lead time is very, very short. Here's an example of a completed quote request form, just to give you an idea how it works. From the ordered buy information, where you want the information, the materials shipped to, and then check out the boxes, identify the amount of polycarbonate sheet that you like and the length. Please round to the nearest foot with your length of your panels. There are some merit accessories. We suggest you use mesh tape, so we show that as required accessory. And if you're putting in mullions, you're going to need to some mullion end caps. We also some of our edge channel, just so you're aware of it, and some of our mullion end caps with weep holes already prepped. So if you have a chance, please identify the amount of prepped material you'll need, and we'll ship that accordingly. If the form is complete, again, we'll check it over, and we'll get a price for you and get it back to you within an hour. Installation details. We're going to 30 years of daylighting experience in the use of these channels. We'd like to share that information with you now. A lot of key elements to working with polycarbonate structure sheet and our aluminum channel systems that we've learned over these past many years. It starts with flashing your system. We recommend that you, when you install your flashing, that you install it about an inch, maybe an inch and a half above and beyond the system. Any water that might weep into the system won't go into the finished product, but actually weep out the pre-drilled weep holes. When cutting aluminum, many fabricators certainly understand cutting aluminum. This is no secret. We recommend you use a -6-degree carbide blade for the cleanest cut. A little wax lubrication will help on the cutting process, help prevent your material from jumping. We just always recommend that you wear safety glasses in the process. Weeping details. A lot of our material comes prepped, and one of the areas that we're prepping is we're drilling some panels with weep holes. However, if you prefer to drill those out yourself, we recommend that you drill them couples within an inch of each other using a certain size bit identified here, and about every 24 inches. The important thing here is that you drill not only through the base channel, but through the screw boss as well. So water making its way on the other side of the screw boss will find its way through the weep holes. Notice the mullion cap in the picture below. The mullion cap comes in two fashions, one with two weep holes in it, and you get a mullion cap with no weep holes. Obviously, the mullion cap will fit at the bottom of the mullion, and the one without weep holes at the top. Details. Just to make a quick note here, our systems are all dry glaze systems. So typically you do not caulk at all where polycarbonate and aluminum come together. There's one exception. We'll go into that in a few minutes here. But where caulking can be used is when the channel is built, the corners are built with the aluminum. You may want to caulk in those corners or as shown in these pictures here. Make sure you caulk near the weep holes so as to block them at all. When it's a gasket, we have found that you have to press the gasket in place. Do not stretch it and do not roll it with a roller. You have to use your hands to place gasket carefully in place. Notice here we're trying to illustrate that. So what happens is if you try to press it or if you try to roll it in place, the gasket will stretch. And when you cut a 16-foot piece of gasket and you roll it in place and you end up at 3 or 4 or 5 inches beyond the edge of the aluminum 16-foot channel, you realize that you've stretched the gasket, and gasket has memory and it will stretch back, causing potential for leaks. So make sure you use your fingers to carefully place the gasket and press it into place. Carbonate details. There's a lot of information here to read and to review. I want to hit on some of the highlight points here. Cutting carbonates is as simple as using a type blade. It's a very simple process, cuts easily. Make sure that you leave the lining on the film. The protective lining must remain on the film. That lining tells you which side of that panel is UV protected. So do not pull the lining off until you're complete with the project. What I recommend you do is use a razor blade and just simply cut back about an inch or so of the film as you're installing and fabricating. Leave the liner in place. Once the project is up and complete, then you can pull that top liner off, knowing that that UV protector, that ultraviolet side is displayed up and in the right position. Mind that polycarbonate structured sheet expands and contracts. So refer to the manual for cut sizes. Give yourself a little bit of room for expansion and contraction. It expands and contracts greater than glass. So be careful not to make the system too tight. Do not leave the liner exposed to direct sunlight. So that protective film, when you receive the panels, do not store these panels outside. Do not store them in direct sunlight. Make sure you're in a controlled environment prior to installation. What will happen is that the liners will actually bake onto the sheet and you'll have a damaged panel. So keep the liners on, keep the panels in a safe, dry, dark environment, and only pull that film off when you're ready to install. Capping details. Some of our systems come with a decorative cap or a protective cap that goes over the fasteners. When placing the cap in, when you install in the cap, make sure you wrap it with a rubber mallet. Do not wrap it in the middle of the cap. You'll dent the cap. So just on the edges, and that'll snap it into place. And then go ahead and caulk accordingly on your aluminum corners if necessary. A little more about the system specifics. We wanted to make this presentation to talk to you specifically, at least or in more detail, about the Series 2500 standing seam solution that we have. There are some particulars that you need to know about that system that we'd like to get, make known. So this particular presentation starts out with that system. Series 2500 is a standing seam batten panel. It's a solution that we use for curved canopies as well as sloped. It's almost primarily used for those two applications. It's a great look, easy to install when done correctly. When you flip this system and you've got your channel in place, make sure the flashing extends at least an inch or so above your base channel so that any water that might leak in will hit flashing and work its way out. When this is being and fabricated, make sure to do some caulking where aluminum comes together, possibly installing some caulk first and then placing the channels together and fastening. Again, if you desire, you can order base channel that already has weep holes drilled into it. Or if you prefer to do it yourself, you can order channel straight up and fabricate in the field accordingly. 500 batten system. Before you start applying any gasket, make sure you blow out your compress air and blow out your aluminum chips from the fabrication, the cutting process. The key to installing the batten system is as you get close to the base channel, in order to install the pressure plate that holds the system down, you cut back the leg of standing seam. That's illustrated here from left to right. We'll cut back that batten leg about an inch and an eighth to allow the cap to be installed properly. So that you start in the middle of the canopy with your panels and work to the outside. That way you'll have a nice, clean project, evenly spaced project when you're complete. The panels use a clip. It will clip up around over the top of the standing seam and clips to your purlin. Those come with the system. And then here's where the one place where you use caulk with the panels. When you cut that standing seam component back and out of the way so that you can install your pressure plate, this is where we would like you to caulk a little bit because, again, water can seep in here. So the extended flashing, a little bit of caulking, and your cap over the top will help ward off any water getting into your dripping through. But more importantly, if it does get in, it goes in your system and weeps out. And then again, finishing up by caulking along the joints of the aluminum if needed, if desired. And the top of the seam, you see the top photo here, the clip's in place, your pressure plate's in place. Now it's time to add the batten cap. Your batten cap should fit from edge to edge and just about a 1/4 inch because there are little caps that go on the end of the batten. So as soon as you get that cap on there, that batten cap on, you put these end caps in place and you're good to go. Again, this batten can be installed with a rubber hammer. The Series 2500 because it's an important system. It's a common system. We want you to be aware of some of the pitfalls of that system. Coming up, the next several slides talk of each of our individual systems that we have available through Prostock. Series 2500 is one of them. The next one here is a Series 3000. Illustration of what it looks like installed, some close-ups of the channel and the plate and the base plate. 25 millimeter panel. This system is ideally suited for vertical applications only. It looks traditional storefront. Good for curtain wall, clear stories. Can be used on interior or exterior. Fully gated system. Dry, of course. And available in the toolbox will be fabrication manuals, installation manual, materials performance matrix, assembly drawings, detailed drawings in both CAD or PDF, and of course your order form. The next system is the Series 3100. We use this system again exclusively for, well, not necessarily exclusively, but we use it for sloped as well as vertical applications. So if it's on vertical, it's got exposed fasteners, so that's your call on that option. But notice it's a very low profile system. This does allow water to shed off easily off of a sloped canopy as an